for this piece, I really wanted to create an environment in which people could come inside and get immersed in all the living plants and the green, and then hopefully take home some ideas for how they might do some of these things at home. So a lot of this is based on permaculture, the permaculture philosophy, in which you try to mimic natural cycles to improve on what you already have, to create abundance, and then so if you move into a house that maybe it has very poor soil quality, that using nature in ways to help, or trying to recreate that symbiotic relationship, you can improve on what you have. The best thing I've heard today is people coming through and saying, oh, look, we could do this at home. There was a family that came in and they said, your grandpa drinks a lot of water out of those bottles. We could reuse those bottles and make a little mini hydrofen. That's the ideal here, is that people will come in and maybe take one little part, or they might think, oh, I could have my own worm farm at home and compost some of my organic waste rather than just throwing it out with the trash. So I think that if it does spawn some ideas at home, I think that it's been a successful project for me, anyways.
The dance started because I was interested in doing something with food, and I was interested in doing something with food that emphasized local produce and locally grown things. And then Christine simultaneously was interested in doing something about food, so we kind of got together and started trying to figure out what it would be, and we didn't know for a long time. And then we figured, since we had tomatoes locally, minus the rain a few weeks ago, and cilantro was something as well, and limes and chili peppers, that we could have a dance in which the dancers would make salsa.
I think it was great that they chose organic tomatoes, onions, and cilantro, because I think kids are kind of unfamiliar with that, like the vegetables, and when they see them dancing with it and feeling so like a part of it, and the kids are touching the fruit, they'll probably give it a chance, because they'll remember that dance and say, oh, I want to make some salsa and I want to try tomatoes, because they wouldn't have chose tomatoes if they weren't awesome.
I had started working with my dancers on movement that was related to cooking. So we came up with all these words like stirring and chopping and blending, and we started to play with movement for those. And then the really fun part was coming up with the dance for each of the different ingredients. So we had to have a tomato dance and a lime dance and all of that stuff.
Performance was really, really nice. The kids got really involved, and even the family members was really involved, and I think that they're onto something good for the community.